Okay, I think I got that right.
Get it right?
I think I do. Whew.
Make sure all of them at one time.
I gotta admit all of them,
Okay.
and I need.
Get it right?
I think I did. Uh-oh, I hear an echo. This is why I don't like to do Zoom, because I'm not real familiar with it. I hear an echo. This is why I don't like to do Zoom, because I'm not real familiar with it.
Hey,
Oh,
Oh my God.
what?
This
What was that?
this is gonna be really,
Oh,
really
Lord.
interesting. This is gonna be very interesting.
Oh, Lord. I know who that is.
You can see the nice view while you
Oh, Lord.
Hello, everybody.
the sun is coming down now.
I know who that is.
That was Dee Dee and George. There's
See the nice view while you the sun is
Hello,
coming down.
hello.
Hello to everyone
Why
from
do I
Bob
hear-
and Carol Penman.
The people say,
why do I hear an echo?
hello, hello. Uh-oh.
Now I don't hear an echo. I know what it was. I had YouTube open and it was coming back with, hey, Terry Wade.
Well, look at that. I see all my buddies, all my friends, and
There's Annette, there is
Yeah.
Carol and her husband and
yeah,
Bob.
Carol,
There's Linda Langdon.
Renee, and brother-in-law. And
Yeah, guys, I'm glad you allowed me to work on that. I'm not real up on everything with Zoom, but thank you so much for joining us.
John Greason.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good
man.
morning, John.
You sound like 16, man. You. I told this lady 7 times, but she wasn't 16 yet, so she can't talk to me.
There we go.
And Miss Jill,
Hi, how's everybody doing?
look at her, look at her. Well, we doing better since we see you guys.
Yeah, there are people still coming in, and if I had another person playing host, it would be okay, but right now I'm playing host as well.
I told a guy one time, we getting ready to do his wedding, and when we did rehearsal, everybody came in drunk. For rehearsal, I said, if you come in here tomorrow and I do your vows and you drunk, I ain't doing it. You won't hear a thing I said.
Yeah. Thank you, Oliver. He's here. Thank you, Oliver.
Yeah,
He told me to turn off YouTube, and then I would, yeah,
Right.
that's what was happening. I had YouTube opening and it would open, it was backing up on me here, we were hearing everything that we were saying. Pastor Norman's here.
Norman, Pastor
And
Norman.
there's Laverne. Hey, Vern. Everybody that's here, thank you so much for joining us. We're gonna go ahead and do our usual teaching this morning. And we're just glad. Linda, what time is it? Let me unmute you because I don't know what time it is where you are, because she said she would.
It's 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock in the morning?
Wow.
7 o'clock in the morning. It's the crack of butt, I like to call it.
Oh. Well, I heard it all now. I heard somebody say fan my tail with a brick, but I never heard that one.
Oh, well, I'm so glad you got up to see us this morning, sweetheart. She said she loves to sleep in, and she didn't get to sleep in today.
Well, I guess all you guys that had your breakfast this morning, huh?
Yeah.
Oliver, you got yours?
Well, good morning, pastors and Cornerstone family.
Yes, sir. Good morning to everybody out there.
You guys
Hello,
can
Terry Wade. Hello, Terry Wade.
you guys can unmute, but I'll ask you to mute, or I'll mute you all when we get ready to start teaching. So if you can just unmute yourselves and say hello if you want, that'd be fine.
Hello, everybody. Hello, Oliver.
Where?
Hello, Penmans. Hello, Dr.
Hello.
Sue.
Hello, everybody, and happy birthday.
Vincent Kelly's on here. Some of your pictures don't show up. That's okay. I know who you are. Thank you for
Christina,
being
you
here.
there?
Christina Corner, yes, yes. And Sue, and there's a whole bunch of
Yes.
guys here, so.
Morning, good morning.
Monroe. Yeah,
Good morning.
I'm trying to see it, my glasses.
what
Good
are you
morning,
trying-
sister and brother-in-law.
Good morning.
Good afternoon, good morning. If I don't see you no more, good night.
Good morning. Morning.
All right.
Morning.
Green is on there with the baby.
Yeah.
I can't get my picture in.
Deb,
Is that Deb?
yeah.
I don't know
Deb.
how to work this thing.
I come on there and hit it with a hammer.
Hey, Deb.
This is our crazy community. I'm so glad
Yes.
you guys are here.
Hello,
Listen.
Declan Williams.
Deb Diaklin, mhm.
I don't think I've ever been in a live with her, but I see her. We're friends in the social community. Hello, Declan. Good morning.
Yes,
Good morning.
that's Diaklin. She's a
Diaklin,
sweetie
okay.
pie. There's Kim. I see Kim.
What you see?
Hey, y'all.
Hey.
Yeah, and Vincent's tuning in to unmute Vincent. What time is it there?
7.
7 in the morning. You guys love us so much. Oh my
Oh, my.
gosh.
That's Leslie.
And there's Leslie. You made it.
Yeah. And,
Good morning, Sue. Good morning, Sue.
yeah,
Good morning. I wanted to jump on here right quick and wish Pastor a happy birthday.
Yes.
Oh,
I'm headed to the hospital to pick up my husband. He's been in the hospital since Wednesday and he's being discharged. So I gotta go, but I wanted to say happy birthday.
Well, before you go, let me read this scripture to you, and then we're going to pray with you before you go. How about that?
you got
All right.
time?
You got a minute? This
Yes,
is in Matthew 18:20. It says, wherever 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, I am there among them. So there is a tremendous field that is created right here, right now, because we're gathered here. And in the midst, Christ is. And so we all together right now send you and your husband love
Yeah.
and light. All of the love and light that we are, we
Yeah.
send that with you and to him right now. And everybody do it. Just send it to him right now.
It's done. It's being done. It's done. Okay.
And peace go with you,
And you
Sue.
be safe out there, okay?
All right. Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Bye-bye.
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 All right, you guys, we're gonna mute everyone because I know when they come in, they're gonna be making noise. So we're gonna go ahead and start a teaching, okay?
Yeah, Rondo can get in.
Huh?
Rondo didn't get in.
Now, see, this is the thing, when we do Zoom, he wants to talk to you guys and we'll never get to anything.
Oh, that's what the thing is, talking to you. That's why we do that. I want to see him and talk to
I
him.
know you do. I know you do. So what do you want to do then?
Well,
I've got to mute them
well,
so
go
that you
ahead, go
can.
ahead, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, I'm through.
You're through.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to close it out. I'm going back in the other room. Okay, go ahead.
I came in too to wish you a happy birthday.
Oh, my goodness. I've been 75 many times. And this time, I think it was the best time.
Oh,
I had a chance to see all you guys out there. That's what I call baking your cake and cutting your pie. That's good. I like that. Okay, if you want to read something to them,
No, I just read something to them.
well, you
You
did.
go ahead.
Okay. Well, now tell me something. I'm trying to look at all of through these spectaculars here.
Well, you can
I-
look at
I
them,
have
but
to
you're gonna have to say
I
something.
know I have to refocus on these new glasses.
What are you gonna talk about today?
I'm gonna talk about everybody. I'm gonna talk about everybody. I'm gonna pull them out one at a time, just talk to them. No, we're gonna talk about our history. And
Now you know, co-pastor,
Yes,
Pastor misses that personal touch.
I know,
Because
Oliver, you are,
he's actually seeing the people, and it just got him just.
yes, he loves it so much.
I know
seeing
it.
you guys.
look, I'm gonna tell you something. Something that happened. I saw last night, and this go. So you might want to tighten your curlers up and tighten up your wig. You know, because it's gonna be out of the book. You know, be beyond the book. What I'm gonna tell you. Okay. Now, I was watching this lady, and she was talking about her near-death experience. She said Jesus came in and was standing in front of her, and she dropped her head on her knees. She was honoring and respecting him. Long story short, he picked her up. He didn't want her to bow to him. But when she did that, she went into tears and travailing, crying. She put the rag over her face. And when he stood her back up, she didn't pay any attention to it until after he was gone. But she opened the rag up, the cloth up, and she had the imprint of his face in that cloth that she was wiping tears with.
Mm,
And that ought to make you jump up and down. I'm gonna tell you, she
yeah.
said she took the cloth and showed it to her mother. And they both was sitting there in awe at the manifestation of confirmation. And she said, anybody that Jesus appeared to, you don't have to worry about whether it's him or not, because that you already are recognizes itself.
Yeah.
Is that good stuff? Can you hear me?
They can
Yeah.
hear you,
Okay,
yes.
yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
I don't have everybody unmuted.
That's great
so
stuff.
they can talk back
Okay,
to you.
okay,
Do
yeah.
you want them all to be able to talk back to you
Yeah,
right
I
now?
want to. I want to talk to.
Now, no, everyone may come back.
Well, don't come at one time now. You hold your horses now. Don't get outside.
You
Don't-
can ask them
Don't get
to
over the side.
unmute.
Okay, all right. Anyway, this is new. Who was that down there? I can't see it good.
Don't worry about
Okay.
it, darling.
I want to see y'all. I want to see you. Don't be laughing at me. I want to see y'all. I look at Laverne over there. How's Johnny doing, Laverne? Can't you hear
She
me?
has to unmute in order
Okay,
to
that's
do
all right.
that.
That's all right.
Mhm.
Good
I was-
morning. He's
Nice.
he's coming along slowly. He's not doing real well, but he's okay.
Okay.
Okay, baby.
I had a chance to talk to, I went to the drugstore and I went to one of these,
Go ahead.
I went in this drugstore, we thought it was out of business and we found it. And the doctor gave me some type of spray, nasal spray, and it had to be mixed up.
It was an apothecary.
Uh,
I like that word.
Whatever that big word, I didn't say big word.
Mhm.
And when I got in there was a little girl moving around in the store by herself. I kept noticing her. And when I talked to the lady about my prescription, I remember her voice on the phone that if I ever heard it in you guys, I would be able to tell where she's talking from, not just no extravagant speaking, not something that you would say to them, or the angel is with you, or I'm a preacher and I'm a nurse and all that. Whenever, see, awakeness is recognitionness. That's a good way to say it. Everybody that you have met, you met them and discussed this in your infinite eternal essence without a mouth, but communication
Yeah.
in the all-knowing self. And as you get further into knowing the truth about where you came, how you came, deja vu increases by leaps and bounds. I mean, it's absolutely amazing. And when we were in the brick and mortar, I wanted to train or point everybody, you might say, toward that potential ability to do that, because being able to recognize in your group, you came here in groups. To be able to recognize your group, you need to understand reincarnation. You need to understand how many times were you incarnated inside of Jesus, inside of the Christ consciousness. We don't hear too much about this in church. Don't hear too much about it online unless you search for it. But your infinite eternal self will actually come to the forefront of consciousness, which it is, and you will be able to see, hear, feel, and know without doing anything, and it comes out of the knowing, the non-doing self. You've heard that before. I went in this drugstore, and when I did, the lady behind the counter, a matter of fact, I heard on the phone, and my insight took me to who she was by the sound of her voice. And when I saw her in the store, the little girl was there, and the lady, the owner, the man was, it was a man standing not too far from her. And I asked her, I said, that man right there looks like somebody I know. And she said, yes, you do. She said, he's the owner of the store. Now, many times that I've been out there and been around places, especially the time I traveled in my sleep to London, England, I met, I don't know how I did this, but it just happened. I'm running to a mailman. You know, the mail used to be delivered almost about walking and feet, you know, steps. And so a lot of mailmen that came through the neighborhood had a bunch of dogs with them. And I asked one mailman, where you get all these dogs from? He said, they're not mine. He said, they just follow me, like the Pied Piper, you know. And
my brother had cats.
yeah, he had cats following him. Hey, my brother-in-law had a steak on the stove, and he left out the room. When he come back, the cat, a big steak, the cat done jumped up on the stove and pulled the steak out the pan and drug it under the bed. And when he went over there to look for that cat and that steak, the cat growled and said, "Rawr."
No, you told
And then
him.
they do that.
He was under the bed and my brother was trying to get the steak from the
Okay,
cat.
okay.
But the cat was so hungry, he had
Yeah.
snatched it out of the
Just saying, but
pan.
yeah, see?
But this is what the cat was doing. He was chewing and going,
Oh, that's what, okay, all right. But he was growling at my brother-in-law, so he never did
But
get
then
that.
you tell all of that.
Okay. I'm gonna try to get everything in there, but anyway, this lady had such an angelic voice sound. I mean, it was, and you know, I remember so well that the reason why I am talking to you guys, it had not anything to do with a calling as far as a preacher or elder or bishop or deacon in brick and mortar in religion. What put me on this road that we are on now is I had an epiphany, and you may have heard me say it, but I keep saying it because it burned into my memory, and a part of my it's me, and I don't know anything else to say to you guys. That I know that the reason why you're here with us today is because of your divine infinite purpose. I see that it's facing me all the time, so I could see this lady, and she. And all in my sleep last night, I kept hearing her voice talking. It was an angelic voice. And if you have ever had the experience of coming out of a place, me and her came out of a restaurant, and our personal angelic voice, the angel of God, our angel of us, spoke to us. You remember what he said to us?
And we heard the words consciously.
Yeah.
The man said, you guys come back to see us.
Yeah.
But underneath of that, or over top of that, we heard the words, God bless you.
Yeah.
So there was an angelic voice that came intermingled with his voice, and we could distinguish it. That was the first time we'd ever had that happen, wasn't it?
Yeah. No, wait a minute. The first time we had it really happen was when the dog barked.
Well, yeah, that was another instance.
And when the dog barked,
We heard what it actually
we heard
said,
what he was
what
saying.
it was communicating.
When they bark, they are talking. I mean, they're saying words, but you have to
They're
get,
communicating.
hey, I'll tell you what they say. You have to get that Noah's Ark anointed, you know, what we say in Rick and Morty. You get that awareness of the name, the part of you. Listen,
Well, and you mentioned all of that, but I
Mhm.
think it's because we have those things happen because of the tremendous field that we live in when we're awakened.
yeah,
When,
that's a good
when,
way to say
when
it.
we're awakened,
Mhm.
there is a consciousness of the allness of God. And so there is the limitations that you feel and have as a human are really, they're not limitations any longer for you because you live in a field of miracles,
Yeah,
a field of the supernatural, a
that's
field
the normal
of
potential ability.
a field of
Mhm.
possibilities. And so as humans, we're only used to impossibilities. But living in a field of possibilities, it makes everything change. Your outlook changes, your view of how things work changes. It's a whole new world.
So after hearing the lady talk, she called me Mr. Sawyer. I didn't tell her what I did. She said, she said, thank you.
Mm.
And before I left, the little girl that I saw in the store, her parents came in. And we was in a small group close to the counter. And the little girl was standing there. I don't know, she's about to my shoulder almost, but she was a little girl. And the first thing I saw with her was music. And I said, somebody playing music. And I looked at the little girl, I said, you play guitar? She said, her grandmother said, she plays a violin.
Mm.
And I told him, I said, when we had our brick and mortar function in a church building, I had a chance and was blessed to be able to give my chief musicians handmade design by my own self, design guitars. I gave them all guitars, and I had so many of them. I had over 200 of them, but I had them handmade in Mexico. And then my cousin came down, and my cousin, which is my brother also, came down, and I gave him one. And I asked him last night, was he going to play his guitar? Has he been playing it much? He said, no, he's got it covered up out in the garage. I said, well, if you keep it out there in the garage, the wood will not pick up the sound of freedom in it. Wood expresses itself and it absorbs the air and the place around it. And so I was telling him that, but a lot of people don't know that about the guitar. So anyway, a lot of guys told me that they left their guitar in the trunk of the car. When they went back, it looked bent up like a piece of bacon, you know. But I told the little girl about their eternal life keyboard.
Eternal life.
Eternal life keyboard. You'll see keys on a piano, like a keyboard, stretched for eternity. And each one of those people that said they had enough light beings, and some of them have been us, and some of them are us, and some of them are connected to the many lifetime families. Did you get that? Connected to our lifetime infinite family members. And listen to this. Also at the keyboard, for Keyboard of Eternity, you have, okay, this is I'm talking to grown folks now, okay? You will have the million expressions like self. I'm gonna try, it's hard to put things like that in words. I'm trying to cover the whole span of your evolution when I say different cups, same juice, okay? At that keyboard, we have every lifetime selves, which is the only one self, sons of God, daughters of God. I'm the one. I don't mean in numbers as far as changing that eternal self. You don't change your eternal self. I'm sorry, you just stuck with that. But the suits. So in the eternal self, you have at the keyboard everybody and everyone that you've ever lived in the form of. It's hard to put this stuff in words. I may forget your name, but I don't forget your presence. You imprint me when I see you, and I carry you in my heart 24/7. A matter of fact, the download that we have in each other's identity self, your eternal self knows exactly when you walk up to somebody, it is looking through you. The eternal self is looking through your hands, your fingers, your nose, knees. That's why when Moses saw God on the mountain, he told Moses, said, you can't see my face and live. He said, but I let you see my hand parts. God even live in your butt. So anyway, so now you ain't gonna get in the shower and leave him outside. That's just the way it is. You are stuck with God, glued with God. And I heard somebody say, I told the Lord to leave me alone and get out of my life. And I said, what happened? They said, nothing. I said, well, you ain't said anything strong enough to make him not love you or make him not stop being the love of you. He is the seeing, he's the hearing. I don't care what, I mean, you can plug your ears up. My niece used to go to the movies and when she sees something bad on the screen, instead of covering her eyes up, she could stick her fingers in her ear, but she's still looking at it. I don't care if you do stick your finger anywhere you want to, but you ain't gonna stop God from being you. And that's really important. So this little girl was a key focus for the conversation that I had what little time I was in there. And I was telling them some things. It's not hard to tell people about your life if you've had experienced certain things. And I know some of you out there have had epiphanies since you've been awake. Who's that, Carol up there? Carol, you, with the glasses, you know her, right? Yeah. I'm trying to focus my glasses to see because they knew that man sitting beside you and that lady sitting beside you, sir, he's y'all were one angel and y'all split off from each other in order to come to earth so that you could be here with us today. Now, if I would ask you your age, both of you, I don't want to, but if I did, you couldn't tell me because it's a number that runs out. So you got all kinds of family members on the other side, and you got children over there that's talking about you. Matter of fact, everybody that's on the screen now, your double and triple self is watching the whole thing from your eyes over here back to itself. And I know you understand when I get to heaven, I'm already there, but I mean, you know what I'm trying to say. You have all your hair back on your head. You know, you might better.
I don't think you'll care if you got hair or not.
Huh?
I don't think you'll care
Well,
whether you have hair or not.
I do. When I get there, I will. I don't want a wig on. I want the real stuff. And I want my beard to go down to the floor so I can step on it or roll it up. But anyway, you can take your glasses off and you'll be able to, I had a chance to witness able to read a license tag 20 miles away or longer. So your vision is stepped up immediately. But what I want you guys to experience is exactly what we're talking about. And you can. You can. And you are here to give the example of what Jesus looked like, what Christ looked like in your suit. Now, I like that. Go ahead. You want to say something? Go ahead.
I'm
But-
waiting to jump in when you get to a place
Okay,
that,
so you'll see people, and you know, some people give me the bad finger in my Jeep a lot of times because I scare the underwear off with a train horn. I got train horn on. Y'all heard me talk about that. And I blow it and it scares them, make them jump, you know, like that. And they turn around and some of them cuss me out. And I'm waiting to get my window down. Before I get my window down, I done took off. I want to holler and said, I love you too. You go to a service station. Now, this is a good one. I went to the service station. I told the wife, I said, I'm gonna stop at the gas station. But anyway, I did. Inside, I was trying to stretch my gas, but I said, not knowing how long the gas that I had in there gonna last or what I had to do. When I got in the service station, I went inside and I said, 25 or 30 $30 worth of gas. Number one, 92 proof, you know. And the lady said, what is that? I said, that's number one, the amount of gas that I want. And
the proof of.
the proof of it.
gas.
Okay. Now, when I got in there, I had no idea who was pulling up on the other side of the pump, pump number one, number two. And I looked at the car when I came back out, and this guy got out of his car and it didn't have any legs down from his knee. His legs, his
You
legs
first
were
said
cut
you
off.
noticed that he was really, really short.
Yeah, he was short. I mean,
And
he's
then
like
when you looked at it,
he
you
was like he's on
saw
his
that
knees,
he didn't
yeah.
have any
And I
legs.
looked at him, I didn't want to stare at him too, but I really wanted to talk to him about his life and experience that he went through to amputate his legs. And I looked at him and he didn't look at me. I just glanced at him outside of my eye and I looked down and he was like a kid that I don't know, but he was pumping gas. And his part of his leg was covered with these real thick stockings. And he seemed to be very happy. He didn't seem to have any problems with it. I could see the serenity in him. He surrendered to what happened. And when I drove off in the Jeep with the wife, the thought came to me, how is he driving his car?
Yeah, his controls are probably up on the.
That would have been an experience to talk to him and see how his car worked the way he was. Now we got a neighbor down the street, his leg can't move on his hip. He's in a wheelchair, can't walk anything. That joker driving a hot rod car up and down the street just about every day. But when I saw this, we both knew that what we are dealing with compared to what they are dealing with it's not anything. And I'm sure that some of you guys are going through some things out there that is really rough. But we met these people and we met ourselves on the other side. And these events, we programmed them into our computer. If you were to go inside, if you could, completely aware, without looking in a mirror, go inside, you would experience some of the most amazing adventures that will show you why you came into this dimension the way you have. And you'll also, I wrote it down, but I'm going to say it, you'll also find out what you chose to go through after coming here. Did you catch that? I'm sure you did. You'll experience why you came here. You will also be made aware of how determined you were to come here. And you chose to come here. And listen to this. In the book of tears, you chose and saw how many tears you were going to drop here in this dimension from the suffering that you're going through. Now remember, it said it is no longer I that live, but Christ that live. That means the real self that's going through this. Let the veil down. Come on, let's look beyond the physical. You'll find out that you are him and he is you going through every aspect of your life. Now with that,
Yeah, I wanted to just kind of point out some things that I had contemplated on yesterday. There are like 3 aspects of the human perspective, and that is pain, you mentioned suffering,
yeah,
uncertainty, and constant work. In the human existence, those are the 3, they're the only 3 perceived realities. When we get a glimpse of that we truly are as allness, and you go beyond your physicality, those are not that is not your main focus. Pain is not your main focus. Uncertainty is not your main focus. Constantly working towards things is not your main focus. But when you are not fully alert and fully awake, that is the way we think, feel, and behave. And so to come to a place of conscious awareness, to not completely identify as a physical being, is major, because a majority of our whole existence is experiencing pain, experiencing uncertainty, and constantly having to work. And I don't mean working on a job, I mean constantly having to do something. And so to come to a place where that is not the totality of your existence is a miracle. Is a miracle, because you are not just focusing on how do I get out of this pain. You're not just focusing on I don't know what to do, and living with the uncertainty is where a lot of the suffering comes from, not knowing what to expect, not knowing what's coming. And there is nothing going to change that as a human being. But there is the possibility of seeing yourself beyond that. And I hope that makes sense.
Yeah.
There is a possibility of seeing yourself beyond that. And I believe that it comes from working on your life force more so than trying to become something. When you focus on just being a body, you have to work on keeping it healthy, right? Giving it whatever the survival tools you need to continue in this physical existence. And then there's your connection with people. That has to be healthy as well. That's why I said to Sue, this community forms a field. There's a field that's been formed here today. And it's not just about your birthday.
No,
It's not just about us seeing one another on the screen. It's an actual field of miracles and a field of enlightenment that is issuing forth from and through and by all of us. And a lot of us aren't aware of that. We're only aware of the physicality. But when I see you, I don't see you unless I look past your physicality. And I hope that makes sense.
Yeah.
I hope it does.
We are the Father, we are the Son, we are the Spirit of God,
Yeah.
we are the
Yeah.
eternal essence.
Yes, we are.
We came as the we are. I like to say it like that, yeah.
Okay.
We are the comings of God. And if we want to, in our infinite universal consciousness, we can turn around and look at our God identity from the backside of the cross. And the backside of the cross is this finite world.
Mhm.
You have to remember one thing in your ancient Melchizedek order memory. You rented the physical bodies that we have. They are loners. And we took on many of them as loners, knowing exactly the vow that the body that we use took for us to use.
Mhm. Mhm.
When we talk like this, I sense a love passion going on between us and the eternals. When we talk like this and we look at things the way we are talking, love automatically engulfs us. Love automatically grabs God inside and out. As Mr. Joe is on there, we grab the spirit side of our true identity and we hug it and squeeze it until it goes back inside of these suits.
Now, Sinette has her hand up, so I want to ask
Yeah.
her to unmute. Go ahead, Sinette. Unmute yourself, sweetie.
So you can hear me?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
I have a little question because I'm, for example, challenged on, I think, all 3 parameters, but what I feel is I'm getting more and more calm in it. And it's like a year ago, I've been really worried, but now it's more and more, you know, enjoying the presence and being relaxed, and people start to notice.
Mhm.
So, and still I'm challenged around it, but there's also a deep desire in changing that, and you know, like going back to the paradigm of working harder and being challenged and all that. How do you? Is it just giving up? You know, relaxing, enjoying the ride?
Do you
Now,
understand?
your accent is, we're not used to the accent, so can you slow down just a little?
Oh, sorry.
And say that again?
Well, I'm using my right ear to hear you.
His hearing, he's struggling
Okay.
with his hearing.
I
too.
try. I used to live a little bit in Scotland, so I could also speak
I live in Scotland. I'm from Scotland too.
Go ahead, sweetheart.
Okay, I try it again.
Okay.
The thing is, you mentioned this about being more when you're aware, you also recognize, you know, the challenging, 3 challenging aspects, as you say, working
Yeah.
harder and stuff like that. And I have been experiencing that a lot within the last year, but I also find myself more and more calm in it.
Okay, okay.
And more also enjoying life, even though basically I don't know how to pay my rent next week, the month. But I'm getting more and more calm, and it's really, really interesting, you know. And I'm also more and more happy, you know, every day, but I still have these challenges.
Yeah.
So it's and that is eager to respond to some of it in an unhealthy way, or as I'm trying to do now, respond to it in a more, you can say, healthy mentally way. But it has been a whole process for a long time, and I'm a little bit, you know, you get tired of it, but I can also see the change. So
That's right.
the question is the strategy around it. Basically, what I'm trying to do now is just to relax more and more, and you know, relax, you know, just go like this and say, okay, and things start to show up. You know, I can see
In that particular area, in that particular area of what you just described, that is taking place because here's the old saying, but we mix up in the church. You're being born again experience for each event that takes place. You designed it to be like that, and you just said something about the rent. Look how many times, you know, you don't have to have anybody teach your faith, because you are it, and it will attract to everything to itself that is needed, that was in your contract, from whichever way, and it can, your eternal self, it can take it, but your mind is going crazy. Honey, let me tell you something.
And we experienced
We
the same thing.
24/7, the same way
We
you
do.
are, and probably some of the rest
Mhm.
of them.
Mhm,
We're living in a house right now. Been here about 30 years, is that right?
mhm,
25, 30 years.
mhm. And we've shared it before.
Yeah, we don't know when or ever it's undercover now. It's put back on the shelf of a
Put back on the shelf.
yeah, what I'm getting ready to say, they put what we owe on the house from a loan, they put it back in the dark places and it's never mentioned of, but we have access to different ones who can go back and look at it without disturbing
Then you
it.
have a crazy way of putting this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to explain it like that because that's
Let
the way
me-
I see it.
Let me simplify it for you because it sounds kind of strange the way he put it. Years ago, we declared bankruptcy because we were going through financial problems and it was the only way we could keep our house. We had an equity loan on the house at the time and we still do.
Mhm.
And our attorney advised us to not pay for it. And of course, we did go back later trying to modify the loan, try to reestablish that loan, but the bank would not do it. So while we have been current on our home mortgage, the equity loan has been in default for years. It's been almost 12 years. So that bank can come after the house at any time. So we live with this uncertainty, constant uncertainty. And to have to transcend that, we feel exactly what you're saying.
And see, we had to put new air conditions in this house and we didn't know how we were gonna pay for it, but we
Mhm,
did it.
mhm.
And when we did, long story short, we got a phone call. And somebody called and said they overheard us talking about what the air conditioning costs. So,
Well, they
and they said,
initially said they wanted to bless us and they
Yeah.
needed to know how to do that.
yeah, and they
and all
wanted to
this.
meet us at the grocery store. And they did, and they came out with a check, $13,000 to pay for it.
So we're saying that to say this, that you living with uncertainty is difficult, but then there is this peace that comes that goes beyond the mind and what the mind is predicting. And then you find that you are being taken care of. And that is really living a life of miracles.
And the non-doing self is connected to the needs. You may look in the mailbox or somebody may knock on the door, or all of a sudden who you thought that didn't have any money that was in your life that crossed over, they got close enough to the non-doing self to surprise you.
Mhm.
Oh, what you talking about? I mean, your non-doing self is really the Santa Claus.
Well, and I'd like to say this too, and again, so that you know, we're not experts by any means,
No,
but I do know that you're living in a very vulnerable state, but vulnerability creates intimacy because it's relative to every person that hears you. And I'm sure there are others who've listened to what you've shared and they live in that same place, that same space. But to see someone live in that space and then be, I won't say victorious over it, but have a peace that surpasses what's going on is really something that people can relate to. And so
Yeah.
I don't know.
I find the challenges I have strengthen me actually at the moment.
yeah,
Yes.
Getting more and more relaxed in it, and people start to notice, and also developing some really, really cool stuff who can save the planet basically. But it's interesting that the more, and especially also with you guys, you really help in the Sundays, getting to notice what we really are, and that helps me through the whole week, and
Yes.
this relaxation and being in that peace and having the challenging
Yes.
as you say, Santa Claus is knocking on door in 5 time.
Hey, the reason why I connect that to Santa Claus, sweetheart, is not because I'm, wearing this stuff, but I just saw with your statement, I saw the question and the answer. In the question and answer is God, Christ identity, sits at the end of the table. He gets up and runs to the other end of the table because he just asked himself a question and just exposed a situation such as what you're talking about from himself to make sure that it's taken care of. He don't want nothing on the outside of the doing self, which you may spontaneously have to do certain things. I'm not talking about doing self in passivity. I'm talking about just a relaxed doing self that you normally do what you have to do in order to take care of this.
Yeah, and that was kind of where I had to get to in this situation regarding the house and other situations as well, our physical conditions as well, the challenges that we face there. But I had to just kind of come to a place where I absolutely accepted what was happening. And at that point, it's like there was a falling into this place where can I be comfortable losing this? Can I just accept losing this? Can I accept that? And if I can accept that, and I heard a person say this once, he was a very wealthy man, and his house caught on fire and all of his valuables that he had caught on fire. And he realized after he lost everything that he was freer than he'd ever been, because there was nothing else to hold on to and attach to. And so while that sounds drastic to us, it's the coming to a place of being willing to accept the loss. And when that happens, there is a peace that comes in that doesn't necessarily, and I heard Lisa Natoli say this, and it stuck with me. You can't do it thinking you're going to make things change. It's got to be a real surrender, a true surrender. You can't just do it thinking that when I do this, it's going to change the situation, but it has to be an actual surrender.
Okay.
And when that happens, it's like the law of allowing. It's not an attracting of your good, but it's allowing the good to just take place, because everything else is moved out of the way.
You'll come to the place, sweetheart, where.
And there's some others who are saying they've had the same things. Diaquilin, for instance, has said she's had the same issues. And Sue, she jumped in, and so there are others who've had the same kind of uncertainty going on in their lives. So thank you for sharing that, Zanette.
We had to do, it had to be an undoing self. When I heard and began to investigate, God without discretion is in everything. You don't know everything in this house is paid for. And you don't never know what to read in the mail or what's coming. Sometimes make you so tight, you sit in a sofa cushion, you get up and your toilet grabbers pull the cover off. You just that stress.
You can be.
And you can be, and I'll bear my soul to you and to the rest of you. These things are personal, but I bear it to you. When it said it's no longer I that live, but Christ that live, please don't take that lightly. You don't just, in church, we say Christ lives only when he gives me something. Christ lives when I'm in a need and I can pray to him. The reason why you praying this about something is because you know that it's not real what you're praying for, but you got to do something with this human broke down Cadillac. You got to do something with it. And I studied the faith things for years. I studied it's faith that I gained the weight that I'm ain't about doing nothing and just talking to you. Faith in God, and that teaching all over the guys. Some of them still using it. One lady was using the faith thing, and you can have what you say. She went by one of the most important ministers that she knew and said, this is my house. And knocked on the door and said, God told me this is my house. Well, she didn't get the house because, you know, just it was her ego asking for that. So play it safe. Be play it safe, it'd be 193. Play it safe and stay like you are in humility and humbleness. I can look at your face and the way you're doing your hand. I can tell that surrender is a blessing to you, honey. In the out-of-body experiences that I had in the council chamber, I was supposed to have $5,000 on a disability situation when I was working. They didn't want to pay me for little minor details of weight of the product. I didn't try to do anything, but there was an attorney that I ministered to. His wife tried to kill him with poison. She didn't wipe him out, but it made him crippled. My wife was working, managing a therapist business, office business, and he would come in for therapy. And I saw him, I talked to him, I went to his house, that's what it was. And I saw him and became friends with him, went to his house and told him about he was going to walk again and what was going to take place in his life. I didn't know that I was establishing in the non-doing cell a potential for a lawyer to help me in the case of jury duty. When they served notice on me, there was a man and his son that was cutting my grass with a sheriff. And I told him, I said, they called me for jury duty, and I've had as many as 12 or 13 personal hemorrhoid surgeries, outpatient surgeries. And the day that they wanted me to serve on the jury duty, I couldn't sit down. You know, they said, well, put a donut. I don't want a Krispy Kreme donut under me. I want to find out what to do about this. But he went to the lady that pulled up people in Forsyth County to serve jury duty, and she let me go that time. But she immediately invoked that responsibility on me again, and I couldn't go. So I called this attorney, good friend of mine, Mr. Mack. He called him Mack. And I called him.
His
He
name
said,
is McNair.
yeah.
Mhm.
And Mr. Mack said, Sawyer said, I'm going to help you. And you told me something years ago that caused me to walk. And so he contacted an attorney down there in the courthouse. Her name was Elaine. The lady that brought the charges was Elaine. He sent me to this lawyer, and she met us down there on the day that I was supposed to serve jury duty.
Mhm.
And I went in with my Sherlock. I used to design clothes. I had my Sherlock Holmes hat on and my Sherlock Holmes
He likes costumes.
coat with the things on the shoulder.
Yeah, you love costumes.
And so I was standing there with a cane in my hand, and I humbled my way back to the place outside to sit down. And she fixed it so when the judge came out from his position, it was time for that judge to be reelected, and he didn't want to lose that election, you know. And when they came out, she told me, she said, the judge is on fire about what Miss Curry has done. He said, he told my attorney, said, we got to do something about this. So he went in the back with her, and when she come out, long story short.
You know, it's not short.
Yeah. She said, Mr. Sawyer, you will never have to serve jury duty as long as you live in Forsyth County. I was completely freed from it.
Mhm. So
We live in a house that's on the corner, on the edge of Forsyth County and
Guilford.
County.
Okay, yeah.
Hey, I don't have to worry about it. But
So you're saying
the non-doing self.
again, it's living on the edge.
Yeah.
Really, to live where you're living is living on the edge of a miracle. That's there all the time.
We don't pray anymore. We don't ask God for anything anymore. When I wanted to pray for, if the thought come to me and pray for Laverne and her husband in the situation she is online now, I may go in my closet and I'll call her name. I'm not calling Johnny and Laverne's name for God to hear me or to make a request known. Watch out, here it comes. You are awake enough to know what God's address is. You know the street he lives on, you know the kind of car he drives, you know what he eats. You know the kind of clothes that he wears. You know how he combs his hair. You know how many times he's been to the doctor for the same situation. You know about the diagnosis. And what position do you know it from? I'm looking at it on this screen. You are all of those Christesses in one place, and
Christ.
yet
One
universal
Christ,
in the other places. There will be a time when you'll have a chance to meet all these Christ selves, and it started now on the earth finite level as we speak. Everything that you see and happen to you is no longer a you. You can play it if you want to. It is a Christ you. When you comb your hair and number 4,299 strand come out, it's on file in your sacred book of the Hall of Records, downloaded into the super Father God state inside of you. So I would advise you to invest in learning or seeing how, and that's part of still of none doing self. You're doing it, but it's none doing. But you go at it in a relaxed way, and it don't matter if you got tension or stress. If you can calm yourself down, you may have to take something for anxiety. You know, you might face this dark world or dark side night of the soul. It's okay. What is for you is what you are, and the impasses cannot stop it. Okay? You don't have to go, you don't have to call me. Let me pray for you. I'm sorry. Hey, I'm gonna say something real bold to you guys now. We had a minister in our church, young guy, and he was eating dinner with his grandmother. And when he was eating dinner with his grandmother, they all sat around the table, you know, Thanksgiving, and they prayed these long prayers, and preachers got to show themselves, you know, ego, what it was. And they prayed, and the food almost get cold. And he was sitting there praying to the Lord, and them long tongue orator type prayers. And Grandma stopped him. She said, son, let me tell you how to pray and talk to God. He said, okay. You know what she said? And now this is strong now. She said, boy, let me show you how to do this.
Help a ninja out.
God help a ninja out. See? And I can tell you know what that ninja mean, don't you? God help a ninja out. And that was the end of the prayer. They went to eat. I told some guys out here one time that working on the house, Miss Katrina, I told them, that, I said, what y'all gonna eat today? He said something about chicken. I said, well, since you're gonna eat chicken, I said, I think we ought to pause here for a moment of silence and give recognition to the life of that chicken. And they were serious. I was cutting up with them, but both of them stood there and they dropped their head. And I said, Lord, bless this chicken that died that we might live. Hey, I said, you can bring your head up now. You know what?
Do you want to give them a chance to ask a
Yeah, I do.
question
I do.
or something? If you guys want to, if you raise your hand, I'll let you do that. It's just like we did with
I
Sinette.
just want Sinette to catch this, and as she called it, the rest of you have. You are absolutely.
I wanted to kind of give you guys a little exercise before we take off. Hey, Brother Blue and your wife, how you doing?
Yeah, do I see him?
Yeah, I see you guys.
Okay, yeah, that's the, okay.
Yeah, I want to give you guys just a little exercise that I saw somebody do and I thought was really, really good. You've heard of, somebody would tell you to think of at least 3 things that you're grateful for. Okay, I want you to think of 3 things that you're grateful for.
Wait for a minute, I'm gonna disturb you. She's, Leslie holding up a sign, you see it? She wants us to read.
I
it.
can't
Can you
read it.
enlarge it?
I can't.
But anyway, go ahead with you saying.
Let me see, honey, let me see.
One of y'all
Let
can
me
see she
see.
got a sign that you
Let
want
me
us to read.
see.
We can't see it from here.
I'm not sure what, no. Let's see. Oh, that's about her dad, I think.
Yeah, it's about
We
dad.
can't read that, Leslie. We can't read it, sweetheart.
It'd have to be in big,
She said she doesn't have the sound. I don't know what happened to her sound.
is that what she's saying?
Yeah,
Okay.
but we don't have the sound.
Okay, for her. Okay, you was getting ready to say something. Can you remember?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if you can think of 3 things, at least 3 things that you're grateful for. I want you to do it right now. Just 3 simple things. You don't have to say it out loud. And think of 3 more things that you're grateful for. And it's better if you don't say it out loud. And think of 3 more things that you're grateful for. As you continue to think of things, no matter how small, that you're grateful for, you're actually creating a flow.
Mhm.
You're creating a flow that will change the field around you. And that will bring you to a state where, like when the sun is shining and the clouds are there, it'll bring you to the state that you're breaking through those clouds. You stay in a grateful state.
Okay.
You got anything else you want to share?
Y'all got another 50 years, I can go.
No, they don't got another 50 years.
Okay, and you have any, I can't promise you I can answer every question, but
We're gonna let them
Oh,
say.
Pastor, I don't see where I can raise my hand, but I would like to introduce a question, not necessarily a question, but I think what Sanette brought up in her concern about certainty or uncertainty. I think we all need to embrace the reality that to be here is to be aware of uncertainty. You can't be here and not be aware of it.
Exactly,
Yes,
The
sir.
exactly.
difference between our monkey self, our false self, and who we really are is that the real self has no awareness of uncertainty,
Exactly.
but is aware of uncertainty, and it can come in so many different forms: money concerns, health concern, relationship concern, a mental concern, psychological concern. I mean, the whole gamut. The guy that has $1 billion, he's not exempt from
That's right.
uncertainty in his life.
That's right.
Person in perfect health, he's not or she's not exempt from having uncertainty, which breeds some type of feeling of anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
So you cannot be here and not be aware of it. But what I guess I'm not asking a question, but I'm making a statement. I just want
It's
to
fine. Yes, go ahead on.
clarity to what she brought up, because I don't want her to think that she's isolated or any of us isolated.
She is
There's
not.
no
right.
one on the face of this earth that's not aware that they have an uncertainty that is present, not that it's real, but it's in that false environment that we're in.
Mhm.
And so in every moment, we're making a choice whether to embrace the uncertainty in our false self or whether to remember in our reality, our divine self, that all
Yeah.
is well, that all is taken care of.
Yes.
The
Thank
earthly
you.
concerns are just what they are, and we can enter into them or we can choose not to, but it's all
Yes,
going to work
yes,
out.
Yes, yes. Yes, I understand that. And I'm so glad that you mentioned that. And again, Pastor and I always say that we're not experts, but we live where you live, and we have the same tools available. We have to surrender, we have to forgive, and then we have to accept, just accept. And when we do that, we find out, we navigate our way through the challenges. It's not like the challenge is going to go away. You just navigate through the challenges and realize that we're all in it together. Like he said, we're all in it together, and we're all facing the same challenges.
Here's something, and you've heard me mention before, some of you that have been around us, Miss Trina, Laverne, Brother Blue, and some others, Miss Gio. God allowed me to see who he was that was born to my mother, or his mother. The physical mother that birthed you is the same mother of Jesus.
Mhm.
I'm speaking by mystical insight now, okay? You volunteered them and they volunteered you that y'all would be inside of each other. You visited the womb many times to make sure that whatever body you were gonna make inside your mama, wow, that it would be what the doctor ordered.
Yeah.
Some of these, what we call one of the miscarriages, is that your divine self saw that this was not going to work for the task or the journey, that the journeyless journey that you would have had if you were born physically.
Mhm.
But in some cases, when you go to the man that got his legs cut off, or the what's the name of the children's hospital,
St. Jude.
St. Jude, all of these earth angels at St. Jude, some of them are you that's watching us now, like Brother George and Lisa Monroe. Leslie, I'm sorry, not Lisa. I said looking at Lisa and it's called somebody's name, but Leslie, yeah. And we did this in an infinite way. And when I learned this and found it out, Brother Olive and all the rest of you, it eased the pressure a little bit, because I know now who is responsible for taking care of this. Now, for surrender is concerned with anything that happened to you, that's all in the package.
Yeah.
I just put paddle command programming into my computer in my Jeep. It has 4 modes on it. And when you can go city, you can go economy, and some cars has got it built in, but I had it put in my Jeep. And there's one of them that's a super takeoff. And I use it only just to play with around, you know, here close. But my point in this is telling you, when Jesus said, at that moment you would not ask me anything, but you pray the Father.
Mhm.
When he said pray, he didn't mean long oratorious praying. He said, make it known to your consciousness and awareness that you are one with the Father and the Son and everything else. But he said, what he's really saying is that the biggest turnaround that you're going to see is when you wake up to your true identity and find out that you are the place where you came from in the eternals. You are made out of the stuff. You are made out of the stuff. You are made out of the stuff. You're made out of the qualities of God, that what you're made out of automatically dictates to that part of you the answer. A lot of the answers won't be physically revealed to you, but the intuitive will be revealed, and sometimes it won't be that way.
Yeah.
I heard God laugh inside of me, and that was all he said. And these things are mystical, and every one of you that's talking to me, you're a mystic. That's why you're talking to me. That's why we're together.
Yeah.
You came through a dimension to get here, many dimensions to get here, and every bit of information that was downloaded into you from those dimensions, you brought here to use again that part of that contract that was not finished in the last 4 or 5 million evolutions. This may be your last time coming to Earth. This may be your last time coming, and you're getting ready to go over. And I always tell people when they talk about the loved one crossing over, you stay in transition. You can do these things at the speed of light. You sit down at your counselor and your angel in the hall of records, and you pull out those things that will need to be tweaked in your evolution. Now, when I say evolution, I'm not talking about dogs and cats. I can get to that too if you want to, but I know what's behind them too. God is so you. He is so us. From the government, Trump, all the way down to every president that's ever been. Matter of fact, you inside of Trump. Don't want that, huh? My wife said, what would you think if you see your old mean uncle in heaven when you get there? I said, oh, I'll say I done hit the wrong one. I go to the next heaven. Hey, you may have to do with this old saying some of you heard from me, kill a rock, wreck a train, and dare a piece of iron and catch rheumatism. You may have to eventually understand a frog sitting on a log. You may need to investigate into why water won't run up a hill. You may have to investigate, and all of this download. Hey, get ready. Put your hands on both hips and put your hand on your hip and let the backbone slip. You haven't got anywhere close to scratching the surface of the information that's been downloaded into you, Mr. George and Leslie. Let me say this to you guys. We don't have to go, but there is a person online with us today that for at least 2 or 3 years, I guess you might say, that has constantly sent us, out of the none doing themselves, sent us support financially to help cover our mortgage payments, everything. They've been doing that for 2 or 3 years. There have been some of you that have been sending money to the ministry since we started from day one. You are asking God 24/7. Your life just being here is God praying to himself. Glory, hallelujah. I see this. I knock my knees and I shake. I wished I could have told my uncle when he come and got me out of jail when I was about 17 for running red lights because they wasn't the right color. Hey, he come down and they took me out of the jail cell and I went out there before the judge. And when I did, I didn't know he was going to be there, but I heard his wife, my aunt, who was dying with throat cancer. She asked my uncle, said, are you going to leave that boy down there in jail? And he came to get me. I rode in the car with him back home. I did tell him that I forgive him for the pressure and the meanness that he had in beating his wife every weekend. But I should have told him when I saw him, thank you, and named the different times to get me out of jail. He is God. He was God. He is God now. Everything that has taken place in your life from Rudy to Tudor, God is in it. I'm scared to say it like that because I might get up right now and hear my dog barking out there, go out there and something I need to go out and straighten out. But please understand, you can take these things better if you know the mystery behind yourself. And I'm giving you these steps. I don't know whether any of the other sages that you guys have heard are doing this. I want to make sure that you're stamped with the seal of approval for the next miracle to take place in your life. I don't want you to miss out on anything that God is doing openly or in secret. I tell him all the time when I look at my dog eyes, I said, I see you. Mr. George, I see you. I hadn't seen you in a long time, Mr. George, but I see you and Leslie right now. You in the bed and you keep talking about wanting to walk. You will, but it is at God's expense of who it is. Jesus said, I was in bed sick and you visit me not. I can't hear you, Brother Joe, but I can see you. Hey, I was naked and you clothed me not. And they asked the question, Lord, when were you in all these situations? He said, if you've done it unto the least of them, you've done it unto me. So the one that goes see the patient, Leslie, the nurse that's taking care of your dad in that bed right now, that's God. Somewhere down the line, you were chosen by him to take care of him when he became invalid and couldn't move himself. God is so on tune with you guys and everybody. I want a special thing from God, if it is possible, to reveal to you something that will blow your underwear and your socks off. Hey, look at this. I heard somebody say, I want to be able to walk through hell, like David said. If I make my bed in hell, God is there. He said, I want this thing to be so, if I take my underwear, dip them in kerosene, take my socks and dip them in kerosene, take the wig off and dip it in kerosene, and walk through the hottest place in hell. And the fire won't burn me up. Hey, I told somebody, I said, if I'm in a plane and they get ready to crash, they don't give me a parachute, I'm gonna pull my underwear up all over my head and use for a parachute to help me to land when that happens. Look, I'm gonna quit because I get stirred up here. I love you with the love that is already loving you of God in every one of your heart. I thank you for the birthday gifts that you sent, but the greatest gift, Mr. George, is that there's somebody out there that's for 3 years have sent financial help to us. It could have been all of you.
I'm gonna let them.
But I thank you for being with us today.
And say happy birthday to
Okay.
you. I'm gonna ask all of you guys to unmute so you can say happy birthday to Pastor, and we're gonna take off.
Happy birthday, Pastor.
Happy birthday, Reverend.
Ah, Brenda, all you guys, Vincent, Oliver, Okay. Hey, look, Miss Rondo cut my hair. She playing like she cutting hair. Every other Tuesday, every other Friday, I go see her. She's blessing me so much. She know how to do things by real faith. She act like she cut my hair, and then she come out and you want to put an edge around the edge. Hey, I'm dancing to put me in front of my head, trying to make a line now with my hair. I said, "Well, you stop." And it's indespicable. And I said, "Don't even mess with that." But anyway, she cut me hair, and I was at the barbershop in Winston, and I was impressed to go to drive every other week to Greensboro because there were some people in her barbershop that I had to meet. I had to meet y'all. It was no other way.
I wish you guys could see Pastor, see your faces. He literally moves forward like this and like he's gonna go up in the springs.
Look. Down in Burlington. I'm trying to get my glasses focused so I can see that lady with that
What are
shower
you trying to
cap
say?
on. But anyway.
You want her to talk to you?
Yeah,
Happy 75th birthday, Pastor, from Diana.
Go ahead.
Yes, sweetheart. Go ahead and say what you're gonna say.
Oh, I was saying happy 75th birthday.
Yeah, thank you,
Man, you sound
Vincent.
grown. I
You
hadn't
Diana.
heard your voice in years, but you
You
still.
do.
I mean, I'm talking about in the church. I'm talking about church. I'm talking about here. I'm talking about I hadn't seen you in years, but y'all ain't changed that much.
No, sir. Neither have you two.
Uh-oh. Yes, you don't see that right there. Oh, Lord, I
Hey.
see both of you. Y'all look like you're
Well, you
doing
know,
well.
I found out that there is a place
Mhm.
that we can go back to. You've
Okay.
spoken about it
Uh-huh.
for anything we need, healing,
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
abundance,
Okay.
foresight, intuition,
Yes.
and from the root of all of that is love. That is the
Yes, sir.
original state that we came here to
Yes.
this planet in, and
Yeah.
so I'm really getting in touch with that. And,
Oh, yeah.
it's quite a journey. And in my awakening, I've found out that it's more work that has to be done because everyone isn't awake.
Yeah.
And so you identify, you start to see the things that you're up against,
The
and then you have a
madness.
chance to transmute that situation
Mhm.
to something very beautiful. But you have to be aware, in a sense, you have to be aware of being aware.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it. And I think what you pointed to is that when you're alert and aware, you still see the madness.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you
That's-
have to
oh, wow,
learn
that's
to
good.
live among the madness.
Oh,
Right.
good.
Right. Right.
And it's interesting you said that because when he mentioned love, what I've been dealing with since I called you guys about my stuff, my biggest piece was walking in total forgiveness.
And I think that's Katrina. She just jumped in.
I had to total forgiveness and love.
Yes.
Yes, I agree.
Because those two places will keep you in an area of that peaceful state where you're no longer walking around blaming and having a hatred and like me dealing with things in my body, because when it happens, I know what's happening. So I have to release those two things. But there was a word that I keep hearing all week that says, in him I live, have, and move
Yeah. Yeah.
my being.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So now when I lay here and I think about and I'm meditating and I'm ministering to other people, it's not even about me anymore that you see in the mirror.
Okay.
It's about him having total access and doing what he needs to do in us as us in this earth realm.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
And
right.
that's what I'm living from right now.
Yeah, yeah, very good.
There's
Thank you, Vincent, for sharing that. Because sometimes you feel very alienated
Oh yeah.
because you're walking in a different outlook than everyone else, and you wonder why they can't see it and why, but they're living from all of the conditionings that they've been exposed to.
Yes.
And they're making decisions out of that. And a lot of it is fear-based.
Right. Right.
And
Right.
that is the challenge that we have to live in
Yeah.
this world.
one
And
of the-
that's why we have to embody this truth. It can't just be what I know in my mental capacity.
Right. Well, once you know, that's what starts, that's what begins the things to happen, right? And the positioning, I like to call where I'm at now, like the top-down view, right? Because I'm no longer thinking from the position of what is going on to me, but I'm now seeing all of the things that are going on
Yeah, yeah.
together in this one beautiful dance.
I call it the God vantage point.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's what it is. It's the God vantage point. It's seeing, but not being in it.
Right.
Yes.
This is my Christmas present and my Thanksgiving present. We got people coming over on Thursday, and if you guys anywhere around there, come on. Okay, just drive on over here. Sister Snipes, I see you there, baby. Lord have mercy. I see.
I want to say happy birthday. It's me, Sadie, with the shower cap on.
I'm trying to get to it, Sadie. Hold on a sec. Like I said, I'm not real keen on this. So let me get to it, darling. Hold on a sec, and I'll give you a chance to come in. There she is.
Oh,
it's me with the shower cap on.
yeah.
I'm just lingering.
I work 2 jobs. I work in the cafeteria in the morning, and then at night I work for the Bud Group cleaning at night. So I have weekends also. This is my little relaxation.
Okay, so you expecting a big turnout Thursday for Thanksgiving?
No, sir. I'm doing nothing but being lazy.
Okay, I understand that.
You've been watching us for a while. How long have you actually been watching us?
I ran into one of the members, late Ruth Warren, her granddaughter Christina, back last summer. I ran into her last summer, and I had asked her about y'all. Y'all have been in my heart and my spirit for years after me and Teresa and them had left. And I just wanted to get back connected with y'all, and she had told me how to. So I think it's maybe been the beginning of the year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm so glad that you honored us by coming on today.
This is great. This is really great.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had left. Me and Teresa and Dorothy and them left when y'all was getting ready to do the new building.
Okay.
When y'all left Cornerstone and went to the other building, it was too far for us to drive.
Okay.
So then I went back to my old church.
Yeah.
Okay.
AME. So, and then it just happened. I think God put it like that.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, God put it like, because I used to ask God so many times, like, God, who is really Sadie? Who am I? But he said, you never know till appointed time you'll tell it when it's need to be told.
Yeah.
And it was a question in my heart. I always wanted to know who Sadie was, not Sadie, Sadie, the worker, Sadie, the sister, the Sadie, the daughter, but who is Sadie? So I think he put it, and I think about it now, he sent me here to understand who I am.
Yes, he did. He did.
Well, your charts are on schedule, and they are checking the list and checking it twice. Don't care if you've been naughty or nice.
Okay.
Well, see, we're gonna give some of the others a chance to say something, but we love you and thank you for tuning in to us today.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, baby.
Okay, see you later.
All right, y'all have a good one.
Okay.
And I wanted to give Linda Langdon a chance to get in. I have to move my head to see what I'm looking at here. My camera's right in the way, so I can't see good. See, where's Linda? I saw her a moment ago. There she is. Unmute, Linda. Unmute, darling.
Hi, it's me.
Hey, Linda.
Hello, me. How me doing?
Linda's our friend in Washington.
Oh, me. That's me. Washington State. Me. How me doing?
I'm doing great. I'm excellent. It's all is well on the home front.
This morning I was up in my computer looking for some Santa Claus rectangular glasses, and it used to be at this time of the year for Toys for Tots, I do the Santa Claus thing, so I don't get a chance to go to a particular place, but when I go out, people say, I like your costume. Honey, I tell them, I said, I dress like this every day. Ain't no costume, it's me.
That's true. He loves costumes.
And this hat that I have, that I'm wearing, I sold one of them in the last several years or more, but this is my hat that I make a bunch of them like this off and on and sewing. So, and it has been a blessing to be able to go out and meet people and laugh and have fun with them around Christmas time. My Christmas never come to an end. It's the same. This is great when I say, but I had a chance to go to a place in the spiritual realm where the real Santa Claus is. Okay, we'll leave that to the mystery side. Okay. Yeah, baby girl is. I don't know where she's at, but
I saw baby girl behind you. She got up and she walked out of the room.
Okay.
And then came back in and she looked at you, Tony, and then she turned around and she went back out of the room again.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is she trying to tell her mama?
Her toys over here behind us, so she wants to go outside and run.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
she's laying there.
She
She knows
was-
we're talking about.
Mhm.
But
But thanks for tuning in, Linda, getting out of bed to come and spend some time with us.
Yeah, it was, like I said, it's an outstanding personal achievement for me to drag myself out of bed. But I love you both so very much.
Thank
And
you.
Love you too, sweetheart.
And
You
I
have-
just wanted to, to see the faces of all these people that are with us.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I haven't seen everybody before, but on my phone, I have to flip through the screen, to be able to check everybody out, but just to see everybody's beautiful face. And
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a blessing, isn't it?
yeah, it was so worth getting up for.
Yeah.
I'm going back to bed as soon as we're done.
You know what? I was
Okay.
getting ready to say that the thought came that you gonna go back to bed, but I do that in the evening, get my beauty nap.
Yeah,
It ain't working, so I just do it anyway.
he takes a nap before he goes to bed.
Yeah, yeah. There's some others that say,
But Linda, we love you, sweetie. We're gonna-
I do the same thing.
I'm not
I
sure
take a
who
nap
that
before I
is.
go to bed.
who
Yeah.
is that?
I don't know who that
Linda.
was. Linda, we love you, darling.
Vincent, okay, yeah. We love
I
you.
I love you too so much. Thank you so much for all of that you were on my grateful list.
Oh, bless your heart, girl.
Thank you, baby.
I don't know what to say. I'm just overwhelmed with just being able to see you guys.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's a miracle that I bear in my heart, and I won't never forget this moment, okay?
Have a great
Okay,
Thanksgiving,
yeah.
Linda.
See you,
Thank
see you next
you.
time, Tuesday evening. Okay,
Okay, who else you gonna-
Virginia Carter, I saw her name up there. Miss
Yeah,
Carter.
Miss Virginia, unmute Miss Virginia,
Miss Carter May.
and I'm gonna add you where you can see you.
Right spotlight.
Yeah, there she is.
Virginia Lee, look at you, girl.
Can you unmute, sweetheart? It won't work.
You won't do it.
Oh, well, we're glad to see you, sweetie.
Yeah, I'm looking at your smile and your hand wave. Hey, you look like you might know something, girl, but I appreciate you. Yeah, you do. Hey, I appreciate you coming online with us, and you'll be hearing us more, okay? Okay. I like
Have
it,
a
man.
good Thanksgiving, Virginia.
Yeah, and may the presence of God get in your legs, and it is in your feet. May the
Yeah.
hip
In her back, yeah,
line up.
yeah.
I can't
Yeah.
see you, your whole part of you, but I can feel it. I want your throat to be clear. I see you clearing your throat a whole lot, but I see the presence of God in that too. There's a man on the other side that was with you one time. He's looking at you now, and he was closely connected to you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I heard it say, yeah, yeah. And he's now reading a book, a biography of you that you published in a lifetime. And he's got a copy of your personal, he called it your heart book.
Mm.
He's reading your heart book pages right now. And I would say an ex, but I don't know how far it is. I just see him and he's angelic, but he knows you. Matter of fact, he come up standing behind you now. But the present, and then he said something about transportation, help you with transportation. It's work at transportation, get you from point A to point B. I hear some of the beautiful music in your knees. I hear pretty music in your knees. And your angel comes to the foot of your bed every night, or mostly when you sleep in the chair. Thank you for coming on with us tonight. I have a whole lot of heart to talk to all of you with, but if I did, I went to a service one time and it was over a school auditorium full. I wanted to minister to every last one of them, and some of them I did. I just want to say to all of you, if my arms was long enough, I'd grab you and squeeze the honey juice out of you.
Well, a lot of them have already taken off and they've
Yeah.
gone because we've been on for a while.
Yeah, okay.
But we just wanted to make sure that you guys knew.
Leslie, I
we're
see you.
acknowledging you.
I see you and Mr. Jordan, you got your shades on, or they changed the shades. I thank you so much for your gifts and Dad, you're a real gift, Pop. I tell you, I love you with the heart that you have in your heart, the heart of Jesus. And Mr. George, I carry you in my heart, in Virginia and some of the rest of them. The card that you sent me, Leslie, the 2
I
cards.
think we can hear her. Can you say something, Leslie?
Can you hear me at all?
Yeah,
we got you.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, hello, everybody. Hi, Pastor. This is so exciting. I'm so excited.
Yeah, you're all right. Leslie, you remind me of your mama.
And these are my glasses, Pastor. They just change in color.
Yeah,
so I can,
I'm trying
the sun.
Leslie, I'm trying to get me some Santa Claus glasses made up with the same prescription into mine. But I see your mother in your face, your head. I see your mom. I can see her. She's there.
Oh.
She's there. And I see and know now why you sound like you do, because that's the heart of God speaking through you. And there's a tremendous amount of love that has come into your family in many lifetimes that you're using. This may be the last time you come to earth, but I see the compassion of Jesus in you. I hadn't seen you in years. Last time we saw you when you came to the church, brought your dad, everybody, all the
She
family.
brought a whole bunch of people.
She brought a
with
whole
her.
fan load of people to see us. I thank you. We'll be talking as we go. Papa George, you keep doing
will
well.
do.
Okay.
Thank you,
Pastor.
Yes, sir.
Take care of you and your wife, and God bless you.
Okay.
Yes,
And
sir.
God keep you. And may God's face shine upon you
Yes.
and give you peace.
You are my heart, Brother George. I got 2 or 3
Thank
Georges
you.
in my life. Each one of them Georges was a pistol, but I got another one there. You're doing okay, man. You're
Thank
doing
you.
okay.
Yeah, thank you, Pastor. Thank you,
Okay,
Sister
baby doll.
Sawyer.
You too,
Thank
baby.
you,
You
Sister
too.
Yeah,
Sawyer.
we got
Your blessing.
your love card.
Your husband to God.
Yes.
And your husband.
Awesome.
Yeah. Look at it.
Yes, you are.
Okay. Thank you for wishing me happy birthday.
You're welcome.
Oh, yes, indeed. Happy
more than
75th
welcome.
birthday. Hot dog.
Ain't gonna be long now. I'll be 100.
Bye.
All right. See you later. We'll talk to you later.
Have a great day.
That's Lee. Who's that at the top there? Right. That's okay. That's Virginia.
Yeah.
That's
That's-
Renee and Brother
that's
Carr.
Brother Blue.
They sitting in there like they in the doctor's office, waiting for an appointment. I see. They look at it. She's laughing. That's my sister-in-law and brother-in-law. They ain't hitting on nothing, but they all right. Hey, Tanita, how's Mom doing?
Mom is doing fine. She's in the Congo now. She left
You
Kenya.
tell
and
me
went to
when you talk to
What's she doing in the Congo?
ministry and some business.
Okay.
So we shall see. She should be back the end of December or the beginning of January, she said.
Okay. Are you 16 yet?
Yeah. 16 and grown.
Well, they say when you're 16, you say anything you want to say.
Yeah, when Mom's not around.
Oh Lord. You tell Mom I say leave you alone.
No, I'm gonna have you to tell her.
Oh God. All right. It's good to see you again. Good to hear your voice. All right.
Love you guys.
Talk to you later, okay? Thank you for the support, okay?
Okay.
All right, now, who else in there?
I was trying to get Brother Blue. up
Blue,
here.
yeah, okay. Blue.
There he is.
There y'all.
We can't hear you. Can you unmute? We can't hear you. We're trying to get you unmuted here.
Yeah, I can't, we see your mouth move, but we can't hear you.
Yeah, we see you, but we can't hear you.
I can read lips. He's saying happy
Oh,
birthday.
look out there.
And we
You
love
got
y'all.
it. You got it.
Happy birthday is what they saying.
Thank you. Thank
Oh, that's what,
you.
who said they read lips?
Vincent.
Vincent.
Anything you want to
Oh.
share before we go?
No, just what I touched on briefly
Yeah.
about,
Yeah.
what I got, what I've been getting from you both, and just meditating on getting back to staying out of the way of the mind,
Yeah.
and just operating out of love totally, and
Yeah.
understanding what it is I'm here for,
Okay.
and what it is I'm here to do. And it's a lot still to come,
Yeah.
but I think I've gotten a hold of the main theory, the generalization of
Yeah.
what it is that's happening. And
Tell me
once
something.
you get there, you don't have to think about it no more.
There you go.
Tell me something. Who is that pretty girl sitting on your
Diana.
Huh.
Diana.
She look like she might be some kin to this lady I'm sitting beside. Y'all look like y'all might be sisters.
She doesn't sound much, but she's there. She's there.
I can't hear her.
She says she's listening. Mhm.
Okay. Okay, we got you. But we look forward to seeing and hearing you again. Thank you for
You guys
coming
have a
on with
great
us.
Thanksgiving.
Thank you for the
We
present.
love you. Happy birthday again. And you have a great Thanksgiving. And we look forward to getting together with you online.
Okay.
Much more.
Look, anytime you want to jump in, I can always put you in as a guest.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
I'll
you
keep
wanna-
that in mind. I'll keep that in mind. We've slowed down now
Okay.
on the TV show side of things, so I'm available.
Okay, good to know. Good to know.
But I want you to know that you have the heart of God, and I can see the red, yellow, orange, gold, and blue fire around your heart. And that's for the rest of them too. But we thank you for coming on with us. Okay.
Love you guys.
Absolutely. We love you. We
Okay,
love
see
you.
you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, guys,
Okay.
we're gonna take off.
I believe that's it. As Leslie, we'll see you, darling. And Renee and Willie, we'll see you. Carl, Virginia,
Bye, Sissy. I'll talk
Miss
to you.
Jill. Look at that Clinton.
Hey, that's CJ.
I'm CJ. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's him.
You want to unmute CJ? Hey, darling, how are you?
Good about yourself. Can you hear me?
That's
Yeah.
let me get you big so I can see your baby.
Okay.
Hey,
Hey.
what's your name? Huh? What did he say?
Happy birthday.
Well, thank you. Happy birthday, man. I appreciate that. Have you had one lately?
CJ, he looks like a mini
Can you
me.
hear me now?
Mm-hmm.
How old is he, CJ?
We
Can you
can
hear me
see you. We can see you.
Yeah, I had using my Bluetooth. It was echoing.
How old is
okay.
he?
How old are you?
I'm still 2 years old in December, and my birthday, and I gonna get that Boo Boo JJ doll for my birthday.
Okay. 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 You know what, CJ?
How old is he, CJ?
He's 3. He'll be 4 next month.
He's tall.
Yes, because I'm gonna be 4 and next month today.
Oh.
CJ.
Oh.
I
Yes, sir.
heard in his what he said, I don't understand what he said, but behind his voice, I heard the angel call my name through him. It said Clifton. I heard it in his voice. Yeah. Okay.
He's
Well,
cute.
CJ, we're affirming that things are working out for you, and we thank you for the birthday gift of the revelation of your presence. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Happy birthday.
You guys are the revelation of the
Are
presence
you
of
are you
Jesus
gonna be
Christ.
with him for the whole? He's saying happy birthday.
Well, thank
again.
you for the happy birthday. Thank you.
I'm glad to meet you. What's his name?
Jalen.
Jalen.
Jalen, thank you for the birthday.
Jalen.
Jalen, happy Thanksgiving.
Yes, it said Jalen Elijah Green.
Okay, that's it. He said it. All right. I'm gonna tell the boss man to give you a raise. Thank you so much.
Okay, you guys have a happy
See you later.
Thanksgiving.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Happy birthday.
Okay, thank you.
All right, you guys, we're gonna take off. We love you so much.
I'll be looking to see all of you on the 25th of,
Bye.
I'll be looking forward to seeing you on the 25th of December. I may come down the chimney, but most of you, I may knock on the door. Okay, okay, yeah, I got you. I got you, Miss Lady. Okay, bye-bye.
Take care. See you soon. Bye.
Yeah.